we're live. Awesome. So I know I didn't give you guys too much time to prepare. However, this is a really important live that I'm doing. I know a lot of you have heard me talk about the word or the power of your words, or how you really need to pay attention to the words some people use, because language will determine your life and your outcome. So if you guys are on, go ahead and say hello so I know you're on, and we'll go ahead and get started. Let me close my blind really quick. Yes, all right. All right, I see some of you are on, so I'm gonna go ahead and just start. So your language really determines a lot of your outcomes. Your language determines on how it is that your thought process even goes. However, you can't predict your thoughts, but that's another video. Anywho, so I want you guys to pay attention to how English was actually created to cast spells. That's why it's called spelling, okay? When you're asked, what you do for a living, there's a word called undertaking. And what is your undertaking? But who's the one that comes and picks you up and to take you to the morgue? That will used to be known as the undertaker, okay? A lot of you are thinking wrestling terms, but that's not the guy I'm talking about. Now, you'll see that I use grand rising a lot, not good morning. And the reason that I do that is because morning actually comes from the funeral sense of to be dressed in black and to be mourning someone's death. And if you take a look, when you say good morning versus grand rising, I just want you to pay attention to how your body feels, okay? Because morning indicates a greeting after waking up, therefore implying that you are sleeping, and not just sleeping in the sense of, oh, I had a good night's rest. Okay, I'm talking about sleeping in the sense of that you are mentally asleep. That was on purpose. Anywho, so instead of waking up, because if you think about the word wake, what do you attend when you go to a funeral? You attend a wake. So again, going back on the whole sleeping process, good morning. Every time you greet someone, you are wishing them a good morning, as in sadness, right? Because most people still aren't to the point of when someone dies, you get into a celebratory mode. A lot of still see death as part of something really bad happening, or someone bigger than us taking someone from us, right? So morning is one of those. That's why I say grand rising. Also, you earn a living. And if you are to get cremated, what do you go into? Unearned. So you are essentially waking up every morning to go to an undertaking to earn a living. What? How? How is that possible? Now, mind you, I didn't learn this on my own. I did see another video regarding it. But these are just some of those things that I want to bring to your attention. Also, the word try. So for those of you watching right now, I want you to go ahead and try and move your hand. Oh, you're probably moving it, so no. I said try and move your hand. You're probably moving it again. Stop moving it. Try. Well, now you're not doing anything. Now it's just not moving. So one of the biggest things that I would highly suggest is that you get rid of this word in your vocabulary. The word try indicates doing nothing. So trying to me is the same thing as doing nothing. Now, we've been accustomed to use the word try a lot. Oh, well, I'm trying. Well, no, you're either doing or you're not. So for those of you on a, let's just say the weight shed, okay? You'll often also see me talk about shedding weight, not losing weight, because how many of you have lost something and then you want to find it? So therefore, the weight you lose, you eventually will find. I want you guys to start thinking about the words that come out of your mouth. Okay? Or how about when you drop weight? When you drop something, don't you want to pick it up? You drop it, you pick it back up. So this is just using the weight thing, okay? Now, when you purposely let something go, on purpose, you let it go. That is you implying that you were in charge of that decision. Now, when we say things like I have to, it implies obligation, that you have no other choice in the matter and that you have to. And when you say things like I have to go to work, I have to take care of my kids, I have to, it implies that you have no choice in the matter and that someone is possibly even maybe threatening your life, right? No. Choose to. I choose to go to work. I choose to go and earn my living, right? I choose to rise every morning, not wake up, because wake implies the sleep that a lot of humanity isn't. So when you rise in the morning, instead of waking up to go to a wake at a funeral, they're going to greet you with good morning, be sad, okay? You rise in the morning. That's why I say grand rise, okay? So the other thing is, so with the word try, you don't want to try, you always want to do, okay? Because doing implies an action. So you're either in process or you're not. You can't just think about something and say you're trying. No, that implies no action. So I would highly suggest that you guys get rid of the word try. The other one that I'm not too big of a fan is maybe. However, this one's a little bit on the trickier side, because I really want you to think about how many times you've actually said maybe just because you don't want to get out of saying, you don't want to feel bad for saying no. Maybe I can go. Maybe I'll make it. Maybe. Now, for people like me who live off their calendar, okay, I will say maybe sometimes before, like I have to check my calendar. So this one's the one where it implies hold on. Normally, I would say about 9 times out of 10 implies a no. But we're operating out of two things, either avoiding looking bad or we just want to look good. And a lot of you, and I'll speak for myself, I used to do this all the time. I used to say maybe, and I knew I had like 10 other things lined up, and I knew I wasn't going to make it to that 8th thing or 9th thing or 10th thing. So now I just say no. When I get the RSVPs on my Facebook or on some kind of, right away I'll go and I'll check my calendar and say the yes or no. Now, are you entitled to break your word? Yes. Yes. Not only that, I'll also talk about lying to yourself or lying in general. When you guys use, a lot of you will say, I don't lie, I don't like dishonesty, I'm not a fan of liars. However, if any of you are at all using the law of attraction, you're lying to yourself every day, right? So I want you to pay attention to what society or our indoctrination, which is to inject knowledge, has taught us not to lie, when everyone else has lied to get ahead. So I would also take a look at how you use your words when you express yourself, because when you put a half truth in there, it's not completely a lie. But when you omit the truth, then it becomes a little iffy, right? So I just want to go into that. What else do I have in my notes here? Also, when you refer to other people, some of the biggest spells that are casted on us is through the television. Okay, and that's why, so I've always broken television down to tell lies to my vision, okay, because you're looking at it. And this is also where they use the programming to program your mind, to program your language, to program you to continue to keep you in this cycle or in a loop. So pay attention and start breaking down words that you often use, or start looking up the original definitions, because the original definitions are really what's going to hold the value of that word. Again, I'll use that word ratchet. Back then in my days, and it still is, it's a tool, right, that cranks. And now it's used as a word to express ghetto-ness or craziness or maybe lots of fun, and it's an indicator of that too. But again, back my days, it was a ratchet, it was a tool. So essentially, pay attention to how Americans, especially, I've noticed this, we create and make up words or give old words new definitions, and while realizing that they actually still hold the energetic value of what it was originally intended. And if you go into the English language, you'll learn that a lot of these, you'll see the root word is Latin or the root word is from here, and it's always from somewhere else because our English language was created on purpose to cast spells. And it is, tell me where they don't speak English. It is like a universal language, right? But we use it here in America, and we're, I think, the most manipulated mentally by the words that are coming out of the TV or out of the programming, and then we are using them on ourselves. When you look at yourself in the mirror, we're the biggest casters of spells on ourselves. When you start talking down to yourself, okay? When you talk down to someone else or you criticize something on them, you know, maybe the girl just got this new t-shirt or pretty, you know, maybe they did their hair different. And instead of giving them a compliment, you're like, oh, you look different or weird, or give them some kind of face. And all of a sudden, your words caused an impact. And that person will no longer wear their hair again, even though it's something that they felt great about going out into public with. So we've got to be really careful of how we speak to other people, how we speak to ourselves, and how we speak to children. They are the most penetrable. They are the most, they're like sponges, right? And what does a sponge do? It retains, it brings in the water or the moisture. And it's often said that children aren't like sponges. So pay attention to what nicknames you're giving your children. Are you calling them little monsters? And then in turn, they will react to the energy of that word. Or are you calling them a prince or a princess? Okay. Pay attention also to if you're calling your spouse or your significant other, babe. Babe is great. I love babe. Babe to me is hot. Now, a lot of you are thinking, oh, babe, the little pig, right? Oh, that reminds me of my grandma. But anyway, that's another story. So I want you to pay attention to that one, how that one makes you feel versus baby. Because baby is to indicate you are a child and you need nurturing and caring for and looking after constantly 24/7. Because that is what a baby needs. So when you go around calling your significant other baby, pay attention to how they act. Now, I'll use love a lot and just love in general. Hey, love. Hi, love. How are you, love? Because that's what I want to put out there. That's how I want you to feel, which is loved. Okay. I don't use the word baby, and I don't like being called baby. Because energetically, you will respond to the words that you are being told and taught. Okay. Now, pay attention, especially you parents out there. Okay. When you've always called, oh, they're the baby in the family, they're the baby in the family, and then comes in the second born. And how does the firstborn always want to act unless you've really done a really good job about, oh, you're a big boy now, right? And all of a sudden they start taking on this new energy of being the big boy or the big sister or the little sister, or just pay attention to how you were taught and told. Now, a lot of us give each other some nicknames, especially in the Hispanic culture, gordo, gorda, flaca, flaco. You were taught and told. Now, a lot of us give each other some nicknames, especially in the Hispanic culture, gordo, gorda, flaca, flaco, okay? Pay attention to how your body then responded to all of that, okay? If you guys have any questions, pull them up. I'm hoping that you guys are liking this. If you are, go ahead and hit the like button. Let's see, what else? So really, I just wanted to make you guys more aware of your words and how you're using them to cast spells on yourself or on each other. Oh, hi. Hello. Do you guys have any questions? Let me know what you thought of this video. One of the biggest things that I do a lot with people is you'll often find me, if you've asked me to assist you, you are going to find me correcting your language a lot. I'm a master neurolinguistic programmer. that means that I pay attention to your language. I pay attention to how it is that you've created or what world you've created around you, because it all really is based on the words you tell yourself and the thoughts, okay? Because thoughts create things, but words have the ability to manifest. So manifest is to mani, okay? Mano, man. Fest, which is to feast, right? So manifest, so feast off of your manifestation. So pay attention to what you're creating, because the internal world is in the subconscious or the unconscious. And once it's a thought and you actually express it, it becomes conscious. And then you can bring it into your awareness. So that's why I really pay attention to what you say and how you say it and when you're saying it. That's why words of affirmation are really great. But those alone just don't work to manifest things. But your creations and how you lead your life and how you speak to yourself is often going to show up on the exterior. Okay, and the words that we use are projections out to the world. Okay, so I really want, and I'll go into that in another video, because I really want you to pay attention to the words that we're using on a constant daily basis. And because I'm not making these too long, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Just bringing more awareness to the words that you use. And then to add to that, if you want to bring someone in closer, call them by their name. I know a lot of you called me Ariana, which is okay, but I pronounce my name when I introduce myself to you as Ariana, okay? And I want you to all go in to check the etymology of your names and see how you resonate with them, okay? And see how, if some of you never took on a nickname and were kind of like, oh, well, they call that person this and that person that, and see how it is that they resonate. Pay attention to what you call your children, what you call your significant other. If you're calling them mi cielo, you're putting a massive distance between the two of you. And I know it sounds pretty and beautiful, and we've seen it on the movies and all these things, but pay attention to how you then respond if you switch it up. Start switching it up. Attempt to get rid of the word try in your vocabulary, because either you are doing something or you're not doing anything, okay? Maybe is another one. If you're avoiding trying to look bad or trying to give an explanation, stop explaining yourself and just say no. You just can't make it. End of story. So I'm hoping you guys like this. Again, Grand Rising to everyone, even though it's the afternoon. Good night. That's why I say buenas noches. So I'm hoping this taught you guys a little bit something about how the English language was used to cast spells, starting with the very simple term of good morning, okay? So my hope and my wish is for everybody to start saying Grand Rising to each other. That would be awesome and amazing. And I can tell when somebody has actually listened to me, because I start hearing myself in other people. So I'm hoping that this helped you guys. I know we're about to go through some very big, large energetic shifts within these last 2 weeks of the year. Be prepared. If you don't know how to prepare, go ahead and book a session with me, and I can see what's energetically happening to you or with you or for you, more so, to get you in alignment to where you need to be. And I will do a lot of that with your language. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Share it. Tell your friends to subscribe if they haven't already, and I will be back soon.